Sorry guys.
Oh, it's getting my chest. Oh, this isn't. Pick those up. ¿Quién eres?
It was August 2025 when Katie, the creator behind Katie Roams, a channel devoted to solo camping, hiking, and raw adventures, set out into the woods for another peaceful night alone. She found a quiet lake surrounded by trees and soft moss beneath her feet. For hours, everything felt calm, ordinary, until the kind of silence that only nature knows began to feel different, too aware, too still.
Let's get in, shall we? Got my new fancy sit mat with me. Okay, I'm gonna go in. I'm really hoping it's not cold because I'm not very good with cold water. Well, let's dip.
Flipping freezing that is, but it's kind of nice at the same time.
I've had my little dip, but I do need to get a move on because, well, it's kind of late. It's around 7 p.m. right now and I'm chilly as well. So I need to get dressed. I need to go for a wander. I need to find a spot first of all to actually camp. I was going to try and camp around the lake, but there are no flat spots that aren't boggy. There's a lot of boggy bits and the mozzies are a bit of a problem. So I'm going to go ahead and get dressed. I'm going to go on a wander and we're going to find a spot. Oh, it's cold. Let's go.
Katie began her evening the way she always did, relaxed, methodical, and content. After a quick swim in the cold lake, she realized the sun was already setting. She decided not to camp near the water. The ground was muddy, and mosquitoes swarmed the shore. Instead, she carried her gear deeper into the forest and found a soft patch of moss to set up her tent.
First step is I'm gonna set up a little drying line over there. I'll show you in a second. Just so that I can hang up my towel and my swimming costume so that they can dry. It's not due to rain overnight, so should be dry in the morning. Lovely. Well, that is my tent fully set up. I'm gonna go ahead and set my sleeping system up so I've got somewhere warm to go because my hands are still a little bit cold. Then I've decided there's a lot of branches around me, so I'm gonna make myself a little chair and then we can cook some dinner. That's my plan. Let's go.
She unpacked her sleeping system, arranged her gear, and started crafting a small bushcraft chair from fallen branches. The rhythmic sound of her saw cutting through wood filled the air until something else caught her attention. A faint smell of cigarette smoke drifted by, followed by distant male voices.
I can hear and smell a group of men. I can smell their cigarettes and I can hear them as well. So I'm just gonna leave my camera on record for like the foreseeable future until they leave. I would be quite concerned if they came any closer. So I'm just gonna leave my camera on in case, because if they come up, my camera's on, I'll be on the phone with my mum or something. I'll call my mum and just, fingers crossed they don't come. But I don't really, well, I'm out here alone and building a chair. They might be harmless, but it's better safe than sorry. So if you ever are in a situation like this, put your camera on record and call someone. It's the best thing you can do. Oh, and maybe have a knife on hand. No, I'm joking about that last bit. Or am I?
Katie glanced toward the sound but saw nothing. Her demeanor shifted. She quietly turned her camera to record, not for her channel, but for reassurance. The voices grew clearer, laughter mixed with the faint bass of music somewhere nearby. She spoke softly, noting that any woman camping alone would feel uneasy hearing a group of men close by in the dark.
I don't know if you can hear that, but the scary men are now playing music and smoking cigarettes. Okay, if you're playing music on a speaker, loud, in a forest, which is very peaceful, and chain smoking cigarettes, you're not good vibes. If you can hear that, I'm sorry, because it's also ruining my time. I have no idea what genre that is. I thought I'd got rid of chavs when I left England, but apparently not. Sorry guys. Okay, made an indent. Now that I've got my chair finished, I do believe it's time for some dinner. An update on the men. They are staying over there, probably about 50 meters away from me. They came over to say hello. They said they saw a light, which is this light. And they said hello, invited me for beers and for dinner. I said no thank you. Yeah, hopefully all is good. I'm sure everything will be fine. First of all, I don't drink. So, like, I just said, you know, sorry I don't drink, or, you know, and I've had dinner already, which I haven't. I'm just making my dinner now. Ah.
As she continued working, the group's music became louder, echoing through the trees. When they eventually spotted her light, they called out, friendly, casual, offering her drinks and dinner. Katie declined politely, pretending she'd already eaten. Still, the sense of peace she'd built was gone. Later, as night settled in, she cooked a simple meal of soup and dried bread, realizing she had forgotten her spoon. She laughed quietly, trying to stay calm, but by the time she lay down to rest, the group's music was still blaring. Near midnight, she decided enough was enough. She packed up her tent, gathered her things, and made her way back to the car. At 12:30 a.m., she was finally inside, safe and exhausted. She admitted her frustration, but also relief.
Well, I am back at the car. It is around 12:30, pushing on 1 a.m. right now. I'm really disappointed that I had to leave, but safety-wise, I'm very glad that I made the decision to leave, because it is the reality of being a solo traveller or just being a solo camper and things like that. Things do go wrong and there's no support system out there. So it is okay to leave if you don't feel safe. If the energy isn't right, just leave. It's not hard, just pack up and go. I walked straight past them. I did not acknowledge them. I was like, head down, and off I went.
Sometimes, she said, leaving is the best choice you can make. Viewers praised her decision, calling it instinct, not fear. Many women shared similar experiences, packing up at night when something just didn't feel right. In the world of solo camping, intuition isn't weakness, it's survival. Was it only the noise that drove her away, or something deeper she sensed before anyone appeared? Sometimes the silence after you leave says more than the sounds that made you go. Hold on a sec. If you're enjoying this so far, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Let's continue. On November 8th, 2025, the action-adventure twins, two brothers known for their extreme cave explorations across the U.S., set out to explore a place locals call the Mailbox. Their channel is built on crawling into the Earth's narrowest passages, chasing the edge between curiosity and panic. But, this time, the cave lived up to its nickname, a hole so small, so deep, it felt like a direct descent into hell itself.
Oh no. Dude, I messed up. Yeah, dude, don't go in head first. Oh, dude, there's a huge freaking spider up there. Yeah. I can do anything but the spiders. Oh, no. Dude, they're everywhere, man. Just follow the roof. Dude, the floor looks like it's made of wood over here. I swear. It's like tree roots. Oh! Dude, that's slick. Who put this rope here? Well, there's a rope that goes up. We're supposed to climb that. Really? Yeah. That's a Walmart rope. I'm not even sure what it's tied. This is crazy. I know. This one's really hard to climb.
The first step inside brought instant regret. The walls pressed inward. Movement was slow, deliberate. Then came the spiders, large, silent, and waiting near the edge of the stone. They continued downward, their voices echoing through slick tunnels as the floor turned slick and steep. A rope, thin and frayed, jokingly called a Walmart rope, became their only way forward. It was tied to a tree root at the surface, the kind of detail that makes you realize how fragile every plan really is. The climb down led to an even tighter squeeze. To pass through, they had to remove their helmets, their breath heavy and shallow as they slid inch by inch into the rock. For a moment, one of them nearly got stuck, his helmet catching on the stone before he finally broke free.
Oh yeah, it's going up good actually. Seems to have a rope down there. Dude, it just keeps going. It was tied to a root. A root? Yeah. What? So all these things we saw are roots. Yeah. That's why they look like roots. Whoa, there's actually a fat rope that goes down. Rope, huh? A big old fat one. I'm not gonna lie, dude. I don't know how we got here. We'll figure it out. I don't know where my backpack is. That's just off in the middle of the cave. Yeah. That rope goes deep. Oh, dude, that goes 60 foot. It's another set of ropes. Oh, you gotta have some sure footing. Guess we're going down this one with the knots. Wow, it just keeps dropping. I think that's the bottom, about 20 foot down. Well, I'm looking all right. This is bad. Yeah, why did the rope have to stop halfway down? I know, right? Oh, it's getting my chest. Oh, this isn't gonna be good. No. I think I'm gonna be hanging from my helmet. You might not be able to get back up. I think I'm gonna be hanging from my helmet, dude. Oh, well, it fit. Holy crap, if it didn't, I would have been hanging from my helmet. No. It drops like another 20, 30 feet. Holy crap. Okay, I'm getting off on this level. Okay. Huh. I found a bucket. Oh. Dude, there's a bunch of clay sculptures in here. Yeah, there's military boxes. And a rope that goes up. What the heck? We got some good artwork in here. We got a giant beetle that's powered by a battery over here. See that? That's a nice cobra and hot dog. What? A cobra and hot dog. Oh, the cobra, yeah. I took a picture of the cobra. What the heck? This is weird. I know. It's like a shrine. I know. And then a classic rope that goes up to who knows where. Wow. Oh, that's creepy. There's like a little figurine up there just staring down at us. Ledger. Old ledger was destroyed. 2024 they started this one. Alright, it's just a bunch of people who have signed this. Hey, I'm from Japan. OMG, this hole. Look, we got this random guy a shout out here. My name is Mike Ecstasy. Welcome to Hellhole at 808 MXTC. I produce and make music. We got somebody named Vitali Gnarly Noah. What is this guy saying? They're spreading healing frequencies out to the world. That's Mike Ecstasy. Dude, you're all the same guy. Here, Mike.
Below, the space widened. A single light revealed what looked like a hidden room. A chamber littered with clay figures. A beetle, a snake, even a small statue that seemed to stare back. They called it the shrine. A strange silence filled the air, heavy and unmoving. On the wall, a ledger recorded names of others who had been there before, as if each signature marked another survivor. At the very end of the passage, a Buddha shrine waited in stillness, unexpected, haunting, and oddly peaceful. Before leaving, they placed a spare headlamp on a ledge, an offering, or maybe a warning for whoever might come next. Then they turned back through the same suffocating tunnels, scraping against rock until daylight finally returned. Their laughter at the surface carried the unmistakable tone of relief, the kind that comes only after breathing darkness for too long. Viewers joked about the spiders and the absurd tightness of the cave, but many admitted the real fear was mental. Claustrophobia doesn't just close in from the walls, it starts in your mind and waits for you to notice. The twins left a light behind for the next explorer, but what happens when that light burns out and someone else follows it into the dark? It was early November along the quiet banks of the Allegheny River in Pennsylvania. Sam, the creator behind the Northwest Wind, a channel known for stealth camping, fishing, and outdoor adventures, had come to spend the night on a small riverside property he was considering buying. His plan was simple: camp in his truck, cook dinner, and see if the place felt like home. But as daylight faded, the silence of the river began to feel unusually heavy. As evening settled, Sam set up a small camp beside his truck. He cooked dinner using an air fryer powered by his portable generator, the soft hum of the device blending with the faint rush of the river below. He ate quietly, talking to the camera about the land's charm and its flaws: the steep bank, the muddy slope, the narrow clearing. By nightfall, his decision was clear. It was peaceful, but something about the property didn't feel right. Later, while preparing to rest, the calm shattered. A sharp, piercing sound echoed through the trees.
There's a really up noise coming from the woods right now. It sounds like a woman screaming. I was sitting in my front seat with the heated seat on, warming up. It's been dark for a long time now, and it sounds like a woman screaming bloody murder. Listen. Literally, I'm freaking out right now. I don't know what the hell that was, but that has me absolutely terrified. I'm not lying. Literally, I don't want to be here anymore. I don't know what that was. It literally sounded... Hang on, I feel like I'm being watched right now. This isn't even funny. I was on the phone. Okay, I'm gonna get in here and I'm gonna lock these doors. And It sounded like somebody was screaming bloody murder. It sounded like a human. It sounded like a woman was being tortured or beaten. I was on the phone with Jessica and I kept hearing it, and I opened my door and it got more severe, like it was more blood curdling. And I literally told her, as I'm picking up the camera to start recording, I said, let me call you right back. And I opened the door and it was really loud and it sounded really close. And now it just stopped. As soon as I got out there and started filming, I had my flashlight. As soon as I started talking, it stopped. Shh. Hello? Are you okay? Are you okay? Hello? Something's right over there. Hello? We're getting out of here. I'm getting out of here. I don't like the feeling that I have. I don't like that feeling at all, so we're gonna go.
A scream, distant but unmistakably human. It cut through the darkness with a raw, chilling edge that made his pulse race. He froze, listening. The cry came again, louder this time, carrying the tone of pain and panic. Startled and confused, Sam hurried inside his truck and locked the doors. The sound had seemed close, too close. He described it as the scream of a woman in distress, something he couldn't ignore. As he sat in the dark, the forest grew silent again, as if holding its breath. When he called out, asking if anyone was there was no reply. Unnerved, he decided to leave.
I'm telling you, sounded like an adult woman, an older woman, screaming bloody murder, blood curdling, like severe pain, or like they were dying. That's the way I felt. I heard noise through my windows being shut on the truck. I heard noises, and it was like intermittent. Every 10 to 15 seconds, like a 2 or 3 second. And I was like, thought I was hearing things, and I thought maybe it's some geese or birds or something. The river's right there, but it became more and more unsettling as I was on the phone with Jessica, to where I literally said, let me call you right back, and I hung up the phone without hearing her say anything, and I grabbed my camera, and I opened my door, start talking, and I hear the last 1 or 2 as I'm about to open my door. I don't know if it was recording yet at that point. I haven't gone back to look yet. And when I get out and start talking, it stopped. I've been in the woods 1,000 nights, and I've never heard a sound like that. In my mind, that was 100% a woman screaming. I can't get the thought out of my head, honestly. It's scaring me right now. Hearing those noises in my head again, it's scaring me. Because in my mind, I'm 100% confident that it was a woman screaming. I honestly feel like I need to call the state police or something and just tell them what I heard. Yeah, hi. I'm out in... I was out camping and I heard, I believe it was a woman screaming in great distress.
So where are you, Sam?
I drove back.
Road. How far did you travel?
Probably a mile and maybe a little more.
Okay, and then you heard yelling coming from the Allegheny Rivers there. Do you think she was somebody along the riverbank?
I don't know. It sounded up, and I was on the phone with my wife with the window.
But even after driving away, the thought wouldn't fade. It didn't sound like an animal. It didn't sound like anything he'd ever heard before. Finally, he pulled over, called 911, and reported what he had heard. Minutes later, police arrived, their vehicle's lights flickering against the trees as they searched the nearby cabin and surrounding woods.
I'm just gonna stay here with my light. Ready to go. I'm checking out this cabin and it's making me extremely nervous. This is the most thing I've ever experienced while filming a video. I'm shaking right now. It's cold, but I'm sweating and I'm shaking. All right, they've got their things drawn in there, checking doors and windows and stuff. Let me turn this off. Okay, well, be safe, and I wouldn't feel right if I didn't call, so whether it's nothing or something, be safe, and I just, thanks, brother, have a good night, be safe. All right, well, they said they saw another house through the woods, and they're gonna go talk to them, so, all right, okay, all right, let's get out of here.
Sam watched from a distance as officers moved carefully through the property. They said little before heading to another location, leaving him to process what had just happened. The night that began as a simple camping trip had turned into something far stranger and far heavier than he could have imagined. Viewers later debated what he heard. Some claimed it was a red fox or a bobcat. Others insisted it was a woman or even something unexplained. Many agreed on one thing: his instincts to call for help probably saved him from learning what it truly was. Was it a cry for help, an animal's call, or something that never wanted to be found? Whatever it was, Sam left the property that night and never returned. On November 2nd, 2025, paranormal investigator Jose Flores, creator of the YouTube channel Jose Flores Terror, ventured deep into a forest known by locals as El Bosque de las Brujas, the Forest of the Witches. His channel is built on solo overnight investigations into places shrouded in fear and folklore. But this night, recorded alone, under the shadow of Halloween, would push him closer to the unknown than ever before. Jose began his journey just before dusk, explaining the legends surrounding the forest.
Hay un extraño bosque que es denominado como el Bosque de las Brujas, y lo han denominado de esta manera, que las personas han tenido distintos encuentros con brujas en este lugar. Supuestamente se dice que este bosque está infestado de brujas, ya que han visto bolas de fuego que aterrizan directamente en este lugar. La idea es quedarme a acampar completamente solo y pasar la noche en este lugar para ver si todo lo que se cuenta de este bosque es completamente cierto.
People spoke of floating fireballs, bolas de fuego, and hikers who vanished without a trace. Only one survivor ever returned, claiming his friends had been taken after the lights descended between the trees. With his backpack heavy and his voice steady, Jose pressed deeper into the woods, marking his path to avoid getting lost.
Después de ya un buen rato, ya terminé de armar la casa de campaña. Yo creo que está bastante amplio este lugar. Y ahorita voy a meter todas las cosas adentro. La idea pues es permanecer dentro de la casa de campaña todas estas horas. Y conforme vaya avanzando el tiempo, pues ir a dar recorridos a través del bosque, tratando de no perderme, pero caminar entre medio del bosque para ver. Los juro que acabo de escuchar como si alguien como si alguien hubiera silbado en la parte de atrás. No sé si se captó ahí en cámara, pero yo escuché como un silbido. Voy a abrir la casa de campaña, voy a meter las cosas. Está complicado únicamente utilizar una mano para hacer las cosas, pero pues bueno, ahorita termino de abrir la casa de campaña y pues bueno, ya voy a comenzar ahora sí instalarme adentro ya.
As he searched for a place to camp, the forest answered back with faint footsteps. They came from behind, soft at first, then closer, enough to make him stop mid-sentence. When he finally settled on a clearing and set up his tent, another sound broke the stillness. A low whistle, twice, from somewhere in the dark. Inside the tent, Jose checked his equipment, noting the time, 9:11 p.m. on Halloween night. The reminder seemed to shift the air. Phone signal was gone, the night completely silent except for the wind brushing against nylon.
Por más que intentaba estar tranquilo dentro de la casa de campaña, se escuchaban continuamente pasos y ruidos extraños que aparentemente daban a indicar que alguien más estaba conmigo o que algo extraño me estaba acechando esa noche.
Acabo de salir ahorita porque de nuevo se están escuchando pasos. Ay, eso que se escuchó, si no me equivoco, es como una lechuza. Sí, eso es una lechuza que está volando por aquí cerca. Voy a ver si alcanzo hoy. Mucha gente que no cree que este tipo de animales tenga que estar relacionado con las brujas, pero es extraño.
Then came the lechuza, the hoot of an owl, long associated in Mexican folklore with witches. Moments later, an unexpectedly sweet fragrance filled the air. Jose mentioned that scents like that, appearing out of nowhere, were said to mark the presence of something unholy. He heard what sounded like faint moaning, followed by the crunch of rapid footsteps circling his tent. The fabric trembled violently, shaking from the outside. His breathing quickened, his words cut short. Then, through the mesh of the tent, a pale face appeared. White, still, and watching.
Oy, 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 oy. ¿Quién eres? ¡Hey! ¿Quién anda ahí? ¡Hey! Estaba parado aquí, algo blanco observándome. Estaba mirándome fijamente. Les juro que esto no es montado, se los juro 100%. Había algo blanco observándome y se alcanzaba a ver como una cara blanca. Había algo viéndome acá. Se los juro de verdad. Estoy temblando ahora mismo. Estoy temblando. No sé qué hora sean, está haciendo muchísimo frío. Yo voy a terminar, voy a desarmar la casa de campaña y me voy a ir de acá. Yo lo siento, la verdad, muchos quieren que yo me quede toda la noche y despierte acá y me levante acá. Pero al ver este tipo de cosas y estando solo completamente, ustedes pueden ver lo alterado que estoy en este momento y que esto no se trata de ningún tipo de juego. Estoy solo acá. ¿Quién me va a estar ayudando a hacer todas estas cosas? No hay nadie acá. Voy a desarmar la casa de campaña y yo me voy de acá. Yo lo siento, pero me voy a retirar de acá. Yo estoy solo acá, me estoy arriesgando 100%. Yo no puedo permitir que haya alguna persona que esté por acá acechándome, que haya alguien cerca de mí, no sé qué sea, pero me voy a retirar de acá.
He froze, whispering that what he saw was real. Within minutes, he tore down his camp and fled through the trees. Even as he ran, footsteps echoed somewhere behind him, never near but never far enough. At last, he reached the river, crossed it, and found his car waiting in the dark. His voice, trembling but clear, ended the recording with one final message. Nothing he experienced that night was staged. Viewers noticed two distinct whistles, captured clearly on camera. Some linked them to the legend of the Bruja, while others believed they were a warning to leave. But almost everyone agreed. The fear in his voice was not performance. Jose escaped the forest, but one detail lingers. He never explained where the scent came from. Locals say witches announce their presence that way. So what if it wasn't the forest calling to him, but something that had already found him? On November 2nd, 2025, Groovy Gavin, the YouTuber known for chasing real-life horror and unexplained mysteries, drove to Black River Road near Curry, North Carolina. This quiet stretch of highway was the site of one of the strangest 911 calls ever recorded. A terrified man claiming something not human had leapt onto his truck. Gavin's channel, dedicated to exploring cryptids, hauntings, and true paranormal encounters, set out to retrace every step of that night.
But before we talk to all of those people and try to figure out what's going on here, we first need to go over the entire call. So the spot we're driving to right now, this is where he first sees something weird before he even makes the call. This is the reason he's making the call.
County 911, what's the address of your emergency? I'm driving on 210. I just crossed the Black River, and I thought I saw a guy standing on the side of the road bleeding.
I'm trying to put myself in his shoes right now. If we're driving on a road in the middle of nowhere, it is pitch black, like he was not kidding about that. I don't think I would stop if I saw a bloody man.
Yeah, we're stopped like right now. Yeah, we're stopped right now looking for a bloody man.
We're some idiots, bro. Yeah. Okay, let's get out the car. Okay, this is where he first saw the figure. This is not even on call. He wants to stay completely anonymous, but he was formerly in the military. I feel like for someone like that to make this call, you have to be very, very sure. In case we find evidence, dude. Anything here? Okay, but this is like just his first sighting. This is honestly probably the least creepy part of the call. So we're gonna keep driving along his route. Okay, that's where he saw the thing. And then he makes the call. There's Patriots Watch. He mentions that.
I just passed Patriots Watch.
You saw a man standing on the side of the road?
Yes, ma'am, and it looked like he was bleeding because when I drove by, I had my high beams on, and all I could see was just some streaks of red going down his body, starting at his head.
Then you hear on the call, right here, right after he passes those.
What the?
What was that, sir?
That's not human! That's not human!
Sir, are you okay, sir?
The 911 recording begins with panic. A man, identified only as T, tells the dispatcher he's seen someone standing on the roadside bleeding. Then comes a deafening crash. His voice rises into pure terror. That's not human! Following the same path, Gavin drives along the dark 2-lane road near the Black River Bridge. He stops where the first sighting occurred, the place where T saw the figure. Minutes later, he reaches the spot where the loud impact was heard on the recording. The sound, even replayed through a phone, still carries weight, like something heavy hitting metal at 50 miles an hour. At a nearby police station, a sergeant confirms the call was real. Officers were dispatched, but official records described the scratches on the truck as consistent with tree branches.
The 911 call that was made, I believe here, from Curry, that was basically the creature jumping on the back of the guy's car. And I just wanted to see if that was like a legitimate thing that happened or if that was just a rumor. And then
no, it was the call came in.
Yeah.
To our 911 center. Yeah,
okay, so it was a real call.
It was a real call.
Okay,
it's nothing like it was made up. It was
okay. Do you know if there's any public information on that? Like, I don't know if there'd be any photos or anything.
There's nothing like any photos or anything. I know that the officers went out there, responded to the call like any other thing.
Yeah.
But as far as pictures taken or anything like that, no.
Is there anybody that went there on the call that?
Not that I'm aware of, so I would have to check to see who responded. Actually, if it's anyone who you would contact, it would be State Highway Patrol, because they did the investigation.
You know the best way to reach out to them.
Well, we know the call was real. It's a great thing he was able to make the call. Imagine if he didn't have service or he had bad service. That would have sucked.
Yet the distress in T's voice didn't sound like a man mistaking a branch for a monster. Gavin meets Rusty, the only person who's ever interviewed the caller. Rusty recalls T shaking, pale, repeating that the thing was tall, at least 7 feet, and fast. He lost the phone that held his photos, but Rusty insists the fear was genuine. Several locals, even law enforcement, have since reported strange noises and shapes moving through those same woods. That night, Gavin returns to the road. The woods are silent except for a rhythmic, metallic clanging echoing from somewhere underground. The sound repeats, distant yet deliberate. No animals, no movement, just the hollow ringing of something unseen. The video ends without resolution. The 911 call was real. The panic was real, but the truth, still hiding somewhere between the trees. Viewers flooded the comments with theories, some convinced it was a skinwalker or Wendigo, others certain it was a spirit from Moores Creek battlefield. Many pointed out the weight of that metallic thud, saying no animal could hit a moving truck like that. Some even lived nearby and swore the area feels wrong. The police dismissed it as tree damage, but the voice screaming, "That's not human," still echoes across the internet. If that night wasn't a hoax, and if what he saw wasn't an animal, then what exactly was running beside his truck? On October 17, 2025, the channel Live 2 Day Wonderland, known for its peaceful Midwest camping adventures and cinematic storytelling, uploaded a new episode filmed deep in Superior National Forest, Minnesota, near the Boundary Waters. What began as the perfect autumn escape, golden light, calm waters, and the comforting crackle of a campfire, would soon turn into something else entirely. They called it the perfect campsite, until it wasn't. The video opens with sunlight slipping through the trees as the couple and their dog, Lou, arrive at what seems like a dream location, a massive lakeside clearing hidden in the forest. They set up camp, their voices filled with excitement. The tent stands beneath tall pines, the water only a few steps away. Dinner sizzles on the cast iron, crispy pork sandwiches with melted cheese and soft onion buns. As night falls, everything feels right. Firelight flickers and laughter fades into quiet conversation.
That sandwich was amazing, so we're just gonna relax. We may try to put on a YouTube video. Got a lot of exploring to do tomorrow with you guys. We're gonna check out some stuff up here. Boundary Waters area is always amazing. Gunflint Trail, maybe we can get see a moose and try to find some of the colors. The colors are not as profound here as they were by Sylvania in the UP. But at Lutsen Mountain is pretty bright, so we'll go over there. But anyways, cheers you guys. We'll see you in the morning.
Cheers.
They speak about exploring the Gunflint Trail the next morning, maybe spotting moose along the water's edge. But something in the air begins to change. Morning arrives crisp and silent. They brew coffee, make spicy apple pie, and watch Lou chase leaves through the mist. Yet small things feel off. The forest seems louder, squirrels darting fearlessly through camp, chipmunks scurrying into tents, their movements frantic and unafraid. Later that day, the couple leaves briefly for the nearby town of Grand Marais. Donuts, supplies, the easy calm of small town chatter. But when the video cuts back, the mood is different. The once perfect site now feels empty. The narrator mentions they're packing up. Too early. Too sudden. No reason is given, just the quiet sound of gear being loaded back into the truck. The screen fades out, and nothing more. Viewers were left puzzled. Some wondered if wildlife, or worse, another camper, had caused them to move. Others joked about bears or mosquitoes. A few noticed how uneasy the final shots felt, as if the couple wanted to say more but chose silence instead. The follow-up video only deepened that mystery. They never explained why they left. No broken gear, no storm, no danger mentioned. Just a calm voice saying it was time to go. Maybe it was nothing. Or maybe some places in the wild feel perfect until you stay long enough to understand why they're empty. That's all for tonight's video. Which encounter gave you chills? Let us know in the comments below. Got your own experience? We want to hear it. And whatever you do, don't miss what's coming next.